Hey friends! So, paint and yap, that's what we're doing. But I want to say hi and explain because this month's paint and yap is different decidedly than the previous 2 months and the next 9 months. What's different? March is a hard month for me. I have a traumaversary in March. I have a bunch of shit in my brain in March. March is just not easy for me to live through. So I was like, how can I make my paint and yap a little less stressful? I'm still really getting into the format of these, how I want to do them, how I want them to be. I know how I want them to feel, and they haven't really been feeling how I want them to feel. So I'm balancing that with I also just need to fucking take a break of stressing that. I want to focus more on that in the next months. And March I want it to be more hold on. So how can I, balance that? And I realized I had a painting that I started, I want to say in 2024. I started it a while ago. I did the sketch and then I put colors in the spots. I didn't add any shading, any detail. I didn't do anything. I literally just color blocked where I wanted certain colors to be. And that's as far as I got on it, and I never finished it. And it's not a big painting, it's from a little sketchbook page. So I was like, that would be perfect. I can make it all pretty, finish it up, film that, and that's a lot less stress than committing to figuring out what to paint, doing the whole thing, da 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 da. All I needed to do was touch it up and film it. And I was I'd even been meaning to get this painting done anyway. So that's what you're gonna be watching, is me finishing something I had already started. So you're still getting to paint and yap with me, but much calmer, for sure. Much more chill and relaxed, and just less for me to have to deal with, less actual time to have to commit, I think by now you're already looking at the painting. I don't think you're looking at my face anymore. That's something I've been wanting to do with these videos, balance between seeing the painting and seeing me, because I think only seeing the painting takes away its coziness by 1,000. And I want these videos to be cozy, which is why I said that these videos haven't been really the vibe that I've been pushing for. However, I feel it's awkward to bounce back from the painting to me, the painting to me, the painting to me. Except I don't feel that way when I watch other people's videos. There's this YouTuber I watch called, what's her name? Lo. And she does sort of she doesn't really call them art and yaps, but she kind of does the same thing where she'll be drawing or filling a sketchbook or doing a painting or whatever, and she'll just be talking about whatever she wants. And she goes back and forth between all these things, and her editing skills are way better than mine, obviously, but literally anyone's editing skills are better than mine. But it doesn't take away from this beautiful feeling that her videos give. So I'm forcing myself to do that in this, since it's a shorter painting session anyway, because it's not the full situation. So you're gonna be seeing my face, and you're gonna be seeing the painting, because I really want to experiment with that and see how that affects the tone and mood and vibe and emitted feeling and just how it is, Let's talk about the painting. So I am not a devotee. In my spiritual practice, I do not work with any deities. I have things that I like to do, stuff I like to whatever. That's not one of them. I like to learn about them just because I think it's interesting, and I'm extremely open-minded that one day I may have a very strong urge to work with a deity, and I may love that relationship, however permanent nor temporary it is. I'm not saying I'll never do it, da 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 da. It's just never been something I've ever felt called to. But Saint Raphael is someone who I have been told is connected to me, and regardless of whatever, that was sweet for me at the time. And I wanted to do this painting, and I started when I would do a certain activity, I'd be may this energy go to them, blah blah blah, or whatever. And I have like a little offering bowl. I put some things that he's associated with in. Like, I don't really work with him. I never ask him for like, hey, will you help me with this, or like da 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 da. But I do be like, hey, I appreciate anything that you may do. Here's a piece of chocolate. You know what I mean? Very non-committal, and I express that a lot. I talk to him and I'm just like, hey, this stuff makes me nervous. So, and I think that he's sort of a good deity to be like that with, if that makes sense. I think his energy is very like gentle and like, girl, you do you, I actually don't care. Which is great for me. You might be like, oh, I only work with like deities of my ancestors, or I'm really into like Norse or Celtic or Greek or Roman, or I'm really into Egyptian, or like I'm into a certain niche of deity, so I have no idea who Saint Raphael is. Or you might be like, I am Catholic or Christian or whatever, and I still don't really know who you're talking about. And that might be because I don't even think he's featured in the Bible. He might be for like a sentence, but really where he comes from is kind of a Bible adjacent story called the Book of Tobit. He, this is a super basic summary of it. I literally read it like 2 years ago, so I might be missing details / butcher some details, but essentially there's this dude and he's traveling and someone in his family's sick. I think it's like his dad or something, and Saint Raphael comes to him in like a person form and is like, hey, I'll help you with like traveling to go help whatever. And the guy is like, okay, great, random dude, thanks for your help. And they're traveling together, and at some point the random dude gets attacked by a fish and Saint Raphael saves him from the fish. At a different point, he like heals someone who's like physically sick. Again, I think it's his dad. At another point, he heals his like wife or his girlfriend or something, and she's not physically sick, she's like spiritually sick, she's like possessed by a demon or something, I don't know. Like, just like there's a lot of stuff. But the whole story just kind of goes with themes of like protecting a traveler, because the guy is traveling from one place to another, protecting people like from the fish, healing, physically healing the sick or the injured, and spiritually healing people who are fucked up for whatever reason. And so I kind of really vibe with those sort of associations. I sort of see myself as a traveler, not to say like I'm traveling all the time, but like in my life I have made great journeys. You know, I grew up in Arizona and I live in Maryland. That's a big trip, you know? So I kind of see myself akin to that, if that's the right word. And healing, you know, I have physical illness, I have mental illness, like I need some good healing. So learning more about him after I was told, you should learn more about this guy, it, you know, felt connected to me, and that was something that felt good for me. That was something I liked learning about. It feels good to finally be putting this painting to rest, you know, finally finishing it. Every day I sort of look at it and I'm like, oh my god, I never finished that. I feel bad, which is exactly why I don't really want to get tied up with any sort of commitment, because I want my spiritual practice to be a place where I feel good and calm and like I can do whatever I want, not a place where I'm like, oh my god, I forgot to do this and I said I was gonna do it, now they're gonna eat my butt. Like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying watching me paint this. I had a lot of fun doing it. I generally am not very good with color. I feel like my strong suit is kind of just like drawing whatever I feel like drawing. And that's kind of why I started this painting series, is because like it's been fun for me the past couple years. I've been teaching myself how to watercolor paint, and it's also forcing me to get better at like color and shading and light and all these other things, which I mean, I don't think I'm very great at it, but I do have a lot of fun doing it regardless. But this, low-key, I mean, I think it came out really nice. Like, the shading on their faces and their arms and, like, all that, like, I don't know, it just, like, it feels like it looks good to me. I don't know, like, I don't know, I keep saying I don't know. I really enjoyed this painting, and I think it came out pretty cute. And I have it sitting on my little like altar space where I keep my Raphael candle and his offering bowls, where I've had it there since I painted it the first time. It just never was finished, but now it's finished. And at some point, you're probably there by now, maybe you're not, but at some point I used this really fancy gold paint, and that's from a separate palette which I actually got for free. It was like a sponsorship thing on my TikTok a couple years ago, which like, that was so special to me. That was so crazy that happened. I wish for more of that energy in my life because that was crazy. But I really love this metallic paint. It's really cool. I don't use it very much because I kind of feel like I'm cheating on my palette every single time I use a different palette. So there's something in my brain that says you have to finish this palette before you can use your other one. But there's literally colors in here, like the metallics, that aren't in my other one. So every once in a while I do pop into this other palette. What else do I have to say? I can tell you some random things about Raphael. Things I remember. I'm not reading from a script, nor am I really fresh on my research. Nor is there a lot about him because, like I said, he's literally in one short little story. So, you know, whatever. But here are some things I remember about him. He is associated with the color green and secondarily the color yellow, which is why I chose to make some of his garments gold and why I sort of did like a green wash over his, what is he wearing? I don't know, garment. He is associated with dill, I remember, and some other things. I don't remember what it is though. I think it's like yarrow or something like that, but he's associated with a few different plants. Oh, also, not an association, but there is a real fish called a Raphael fish. It's a Raphael catfish. And so instead of doing the fish exactly like it is in the book of Tobit, I drew it as a Raphael fish, which is why it has the black stripes. I wanted to say that. That was something I was excited about because I was like implementing my own ideas into the picture, which there's a lot of different paintings of Raphael, and there's a lot of different paintings of this specific scene from the book where he's saving the guy from the fish. But this specific one I was sort of copying-ish from the actual one in the book of Tobit, I'm pretty sure. I mean, mine is different. I colored things differently and whatever, but oh, speaking of coloring things differently, I want to address, I made him black on purpose because Jesus was Middle Eastern, Jesus was black, Jesus was Palestinian, and everyone and their mother likes to make him some white, blonde, blue-eyed, haired, whatever, and that annoys me. So I decided I can make him black if I want to make him black, and I made Saint Raphael black. I didn't want to get comments about why is he so dark. It's because I could do whatever I want. And I don't actually really have that much of a reason. I just wanted to. I think it looks beautiful. You can go suck my butt. Anyway, what was I saying? Associations? Oh my god, I don't even remember. I haven't done research on him in so long. I remember the colors and dill and his associations to like healing and illness and travel and protection. But besides that, I don't really remember. Anyway, I think that this audio recording is getting longer than the actual painting, so I am going to bid you adieu. Thanks for watching me paint. Thanks for listening to me yap. I hope this video felt especially cozy and wonderful. Bye, friends!